I didn't delegate was prime responsibility of mine. And I passed on leadership, groomed leadership to such an extent that it was shared rewards, not one-centered. That's how I kept my sanity, by sharing and not monopolizing. Now something's confidential, something's not. It varies from chair to chair, I understand that. But if you are a real leader, then sanity is bound to be there, because leader is one who delegates and empowers people. And if you empower and delegate, you reduce your own pressure. And that means you do only what you can do. And you do. But you have to draw a line. So you have to all draw your own line, red lines. I can't tell you where is your red line. But you got to go back and reflect. What's your second question now?
Thank you very much, Doctor, for very enlightening. Okay, my second question is from your experience as the Director General of the prisons. I'm sure you have dealt with all these hardcore criminals and all kind of people in the prisons. Now, all human are born good person into this earth. Now, over the the environment and the upbringing or whatever, they morph into these kind of individuals. Can they, all these hardcore criminals and all that, can they be rehabilitated, to be back into the society as a normal person in the society, and because I for one believe that no one is totally useless. So can they be actually, in your experience, can they be rehabilitated and become a useful member of the community?
Where does the crime grow from? Where does the crime take birth? Where does a negative crime, where does crime come from? Hands, legs, stomach, heart, or mind? It comes from the mind. It comes from the thinking. It comes from a temptation. It comes from greed. It comes from violence. But it comes from a thought. That means you address the mind, you address the crime. You address the mind, you get love, you get compassion, you get service, you get forgiveness, you get sanity back. It's all about the mind. That's why I'm insisting on the inner communication. We senior managers communicate externally but do not communicate internally. This is self-taught. This is to be self-learned. And this is not one-day learning, friends. It's a daily nutrition. That is why in the prison, I brought in programs addressing the mind. And gangsters also were a part of those meditation programs where they learn to reflect. And I found them crumbling after the programs are seeking forgiveness. Some improve by 2 courses, some improve by 10 courses. It all depends how deep your evil is. That's all. How deep your habit is. That's all. But it's cleaning up one bit at a time. So some come up service faster. So it varies from person. So the correction comes from the mind. You just have to create your environment of that inner communication. So sometimes we are prisoners, we are free within the prison. And sometimes we are in prison while thinking we are free. We are not. We are actually all prisoners of our own minds too. Prisoners of our own habits. Prisoners of our own environments. We have to set ourselves free. Freedom is to be sought. Freedom doesn't come to you. You have to snatch it. Go snatch it by your internal digging, internal deep digging within. So it's like dipping within you, asking yourself, what do I want? What is hurting me? What is my correction? And the solution lies only with you. It's not external. Solution is with you. Because you are the master of your own destiny. You have to change the way you're doing things if you want the results to be different. So it's all in the mind. And it worked as a therapy inside the prison.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Doctor.
Okay, next question, please. By the way, questions, no speeches.
So far it's been a question, Shafiq. Yeah. Let's be kind.
Thank you, Doctor. Yes, let's be
That was
kind.
in your mind. Okay.
Good morning. So pleased that you are here with us. I just have one question. Throughout your journey thus far, at 63, in all that you've gone through, was there at any time that you wanted to give it all up and adhere to the script, what brought you out of that?
Oh, I want to give it all up even now. I want to walk the other day I came across a monk with beautiful robes. And he said, can you come to our school in Ladakh? You inviting? I said, invite me now. I want to come there. And one day I'm going to wear those robes and just walk away. I will. In fact, I'm already walking away. But I'm walking away while doing things. Maybe I'll walk away with no doing, but only knowing. This is my choice. But whatever so far, with the grace of nature, I've done what I've wanted to do and done it with my fullest heart and soul in it. When I didn't want to do it, I didn't do it. I didn't owe it to anybody. Right? Therefore, whatever I'm doing now is very conscientiously and consciously. But I'm also going to be consciously and conscientiously going to move away to do something different and just walk away. It's my own sense of freedom. But I've never felt trapped because I've never allowed myself to be trapped. Before the trap starts to come, I know it's a trap. So I didn't do it. It's just being very alert. As a policeman, you've got to be very alert. Otherwise somebody else gets you before you get him. So I've been getting people more before they got me. That was all about reflexes. And I think playing a sport as a girl made the difference. I can tell you, boys or girls playing a sport changes your reflexes. You have all the stamina, you got the footwork, you got the flexibility, and you got the anticipation, and you got the gut feeling. Otherwise, all of us sports persons, how do we get the gut feeling of playing a drop shot or an ace or hit it in the center of the court? Or it's all about your own instinct. All sport is instinct. And better the instinct, better the Wimbledon champion. The day your instinct doesn't work, you don't. And instinct is sharpened by practice, by being in it with your soul. All these champions are very inward. Let me tell you that. These champions are very inward. And the way when they go haywire, what happens? What happened to a golfer? What's his name? Huh? Tiger Woods. What happened to him? The day he detracted, what happened? Look at the fall he had. Look at Bjorn Borg. Till he was focused, he was a Wimbledon champion 5 times. And what happened? The moment he distracted, he became a pauper. Look at Boris Becker. Big ball. Boom, boom. Called Boom, Boom Becker. What happened? See, they rise up as long as they have absolute focus. And they enjoy what they're doing. And the day they get distracted and they lose the focus, you can fall on your feet, on your teeth and your nose. And the world gets to see. Just as the world cheered you up, the world also sees your fall. So you've got to be alert. Alertness is vigilance, but eternal vigilance is the price of liberty. You've got to be vigilant. That means inner communication. Comes back to inner watch. And it's very interesting that the more alert you are, the more you sense who you're talking to. What is the intention of that person? You start sensing it. And then you start sensing this man is not worth being more than a minute to be. Or this person is worth it. Then you give it a try. So sports, I think, is very good. Go play games. It's never late. And those of you who played games as teenagers are bound to be different in some ways. And those who haven't played, go play. Does Maybank have sports? Oh, go play. Which game? Volleyball, football, squash, hockey. Go play. Which is your Maybank sport?
And she means the real sports, not the virtual one. Please, I just need to clarify that, please.
We are not talking of playing games in the office. We are playing outdoor games, even indoor games. That's for playing an actual virtual game. Yes. Yes.
Your name and division, please, Kosh.
I have 2 questions only. number one, if you had a chance to be the Prime Minister of India, would you reflect and take the position? Because as
it won't come.
no, let's say if you were the Prime Minister of India, would you say that
I will take it if it comes.
you will take it?
I'll turn the country around in 2 years.
And that's what I wanted to hear.
I'll turn it around. Do you know how? You might say how.
How? Guess it.
Guess it. How? No magic. I would travel around. I would not start my day with the office as a Prime Minister. I would start my day in any office. Anybody in any Indian office. I'll walk into a police station as a Prime. My security wouldn't even know where the Prime Minister is going. I'll walk into a school. I'll walk into a factory. I'll walk into a hospital. I'll walk in to see what's going on. Nobody will know. Later on, people will know the Prime Minister came. But this is to sense what's not going right and what must go right. That's called working from periphery to the core. Those of us who work from periphery to the core get the right ideas because you're at the bottom, right? But the good news is you've got the power to go to the core and change that, right? What happens amongst us leaders is we stay at the core. We don't go to the periphery. The secret of my success has been I've moved from always in core to periphery, periphery to core. I would go to do that. You'll see what will happen. Then what will happen is that any office in the country would expect the Prime Minister. They will all be in office in time. They'll all do the job better because the Prime Minister may come and ask any question at any time. Right? Then it will be setting an example. If the Prime Minister goes, you think the rest of the cabinet ministers can sit in the office? No. That means, and do you think the bureaucrats can sit in the office? No. Everybody will be in the field and the rule will be no meetings till 12 noon. Only periphery. Only meetings, all meetings after lunchtime. That means everybody's in the field, looking at things, sensing, meeting people, which means truly people's government. Right? That is why less than 2 years, India will change.
Next question. Speaking about India as well, since you left the force, do you see India today different than when you were in the force and when you're out of the force today?
Absolutely, it has to be different. Because technology is changing the whole world. It has to be different. Today, one bad news is known to 1 billion people in India. Through 500 television channels. During my time, there was one channel. And those also was a black and white channel, you know those days? And very few people, the middle class only had it. That's all. And that too is restricted to Delhi and then later on black and white came. It was restricted. Today, 500 channels. Do you know what they're doing? They're competing with news. They go searching sting operations. They try to catch people off guard. And that's how they break news, called breaking news. So you look at which is the new sting now. And they're stinging the people in the key position. And they're trying now, the news is not getting the small fish. The real news is getting the big fish. And you know what? Lately, one of the most popular editor of an English daily, weekly magazine is in jail today. He's in police custody for having committed sexual harassment to his junior colleague. India's leading weekly journalist called Tarun Tejpal is in police custody of Goa for having committed sexual assault, or it's termed rape now under the new law. In police custody, you could not have imagined this happening a few years ago. And do you know why it happened? Technology. They exchanged emails of regret also. So it's admission of guilt. So technology worked. And then the cameras caught him. Cameras caught him in the elevators and cameras caught him in the lobbies. They caught him.